Don't listen to this alone in the dark. You're upstairs right now. And if you think that sound below you is just the house settling, don't go down there, because I already did. I was standing in the kitchen when I first heard it. It wasn't loud, just a slow shift from underneath the floor, like something brushing against wood, then stopping the second I noticed it. The house was quiet otherwise. No TV, no running water, just that low, dull silence that makes every small noise feel closer than it should. I remember holding still, listening, trying to figure out if it was pipes or something loose down there, but it didn't repeat right away. It just stayed quiet, like whatever made the sound had already heard me notice it. I told myself it was nothing. The basement in that house always made noise. Old place, unfinished down there, exposed beams, concrete floor, boxes stacked along the walls. I'd heard creaks before, things settling, temperature shifts. That's what I told myself. I even said it out loud, just to break the silence. It's just the house. The words didn't sound right when I said them. Too flat, too forced. Then it came again. Not the same as before. This time it sounded like something shifting its weight. A slow drag, like a shoe turning against concrete, followed by a soft, dull step. Just one. Then nothing. I stopped breathing for a second without realizing it. My eyes went straight to the basement door at the end of the kitchen. It was closed, like I always kept it. Nothing moving, no light underneath it. Just that door sitting there like it always did. But now it didn't feel like part of the house. It felt separate, like something behind it didn't belong to the same place I was standing in. I walked closer without meaning to. Just a few steps. The floor felt louder under my feet than it should have. Every step I took, I waited for something to answer from below, but it stayed quiet. That was worse. The silence felt like it was listening. I stopped a few feet from the door. My hand hovered near the knob, but I didn't touch it yet. I stood there, waiting, trying to hear anything. Then it came again. 2 steps this time, slow, measured, directly under where I was standing. I stepped back immediately. My chest tightened, and I felt that cold drop in my stomach like I had just missed something important. The steps weren't random. They weren't distant. They were right below me, like whatever was down there had moved to stand under the kitchen. I forced a laugh, quiet, just to try to make it normal. Probably something fell. My voice didn't convince me. I should have left it alone. I know that now. I should have walked out, gone somewhere else, waited until morning. But the way the sound happened, the way it stopped after each movement, it didn't feel like something falling or shifting. It felt like something choosing when to move. And I needed to see it. That was the mistake. I reached for the knob and opened the basement door slowly. The hinge gave a low, dry creak that echoed down the stairs. The darkness below didn't move. It just sat there, heavy and flat. The light from the kitchen only reached a few steps down before it disappeared completely. I leaned forward slightly, listening. Nothing. I put one foot on the first step. The wood creaked under my weight. The sound went down into the darkness and stayed there. Then, from the bottom, I heard it again. 1 step. Not an echo. Not delayed. It happened after mine. I froze. My foot still on the step, my hand gripping the door frame. My heart started hitting hard enough that I could feel it in my throat. I waited. Nothing. I told myself I imagined it, that the sound just bounced weird in the basement. That's what I told myself as I took the next step down. The second my foot touched the step, it answered again. One step below. Perfectly timed. I pulled my foot back up immediately and shut the door halfway without thinking. My breathing got loud, uneven. I stood there staring at the gap, trying to decide if I had actually heard that or if I was letting myself panic. Then I heard it without moving. 2 steps. Slow. Coming closer to the bottom of the stairs. I slammed the door shut completely and backed away. My hands were shaking now. I kept my eyes on the door, waiting for the knob to move, for something to push against it. But nothing happened. Silence again. It stayed like that for a few seconds, maybe longer, I don't know. It felt stretched, like time slowed down around that door. Then, softly, from the other side. It wasn't loud. It wasn't aggressive. It sounded close. Too close. Like it was right on the other side of the door, breathing through its teeth. I felt my legs lock. I couldn't move. I couldn't even step back. The knob didn't turn. The door didn't shake. But I could feel something on the other side of it. Not touching the door, just standing there, waiting. Then it moved again. Not away. Up. 1 step at a time. I heard each one clearly now. No delay, no echo. Just slow, steady steps climbing the basement stairs toward the door. I backed away finally, step by step, not taking my eyes off it. The sound got closer with each step it took. Then it stopped, right at the door. No handle movement, no pressure, just stillness. I stood there, holding my breath, waiting for it to try the door. It didn't. Instead, I heard it shift. Then, a single slow knock from the other side. I flinched so hard I almost fell backward. 3 seconds passed. Then another knock. Slower this time. More deliberate. I shook my head, whispering to myself, "Don't open it. Don't open it." Then it did something I still can't explain. It stepped back. I heard it clearly. Down the stairs. 1 step. Then another. Slowly moving away from the door. I stood there, confused, my fear mixing with something worse. Curiosity again. That same pull. Why would it come up, just to go back down? I moved closer before I could stop myself. My hand reached for the knob again. I hesitated. Then I opened the door. The darkness was the same, thick, quiet. I leaned forward, just enough to see the top few steps. Nothing. No movement. No shape. No sound. I took 1 step down. Nothing answered this time. I went another step. Still nothing. I kept going, slower now, my eyes adjusting to the dark. The basement started to take shape. The concrete floor, the support beams, the stacked boxes along the walls. Empty. I reached the bottom step and stopped. I listened. Nothing. I let out a breath I didn't realize I'd been holding. "See? Nothing." Then I heard it. Right behind me. On the stairs. 1 step. I turned fast, my foot slipping slightly on the concrete as I spun around. The stairs were empty, but I knew exactly where that step came from. Halfway up. Between me and the door. Then it stepped again. Closer to the top now, blocking the way out. I felt my chest tighten hard. I backed away from the stairs, my eyes locked on them, waiting for something to show itself. Then it did. Not all at once. First, a shape. Tall. Standing where the steps turned out of the light. Then it leaned forward just enough for me to see it. Its face wasn't right. Too long. The skin looked pulled tight, stretched over something that didn't match it. Its mouth hung slightly open, and something dark moved inside it, like it was breathing through a throat that didn't belong there. It didn't rush me. It didn't move fast. It just stood there, watching. The sound came from it this time. Clear, real, close. I backed further into the basement, my hands shaking, my body trying to figure out where to go even though I already knew there was nowhere. It stepped down one stair, then another. Slow. Controlled. Like it knew I wasn't leaving. I tried to move past it. I tried to run up the side, but the second I shifted toward the stairs, it leaned forward again, and that sound came out louder this time. I stopped immediately. My legs gave out a little, and I caught myself on one of the beams, my eyes still locked on it. It didn't need to block the stairs physically. It just stood there, and I knew. If I went near it, I wasn't getting past. I turned away from the stairs, my breathing breaking apart now, looking for anything else. Another exit, a window, anything. There wasn't one. When I looked back, it was closer. I don't remember it stepping. It was just closer. Its head tilted slightly, like it was trying to understand something about me. Then it took one more step down, and I stopped moving completely, because I realized something I should have understood earlier. It didn't come upstairs. It waited for me to come down. If you're listening to this, and you've heard something move below you tonight, don't make the same mistake I did, because it doesn't follow you. It waits for you to come to it. If you have a horror story of your own, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. You never know. The next story could be yours. Subscribe to The Vault so you don't miss what comes next.